Good evening, all. We are live. It is your girl,
Whoop, whoop.
Marsha, and I'm here with my co host, Dana George, bringing you some really good information. So I hope you guys get to tune in. I'm going to say before I forget, if you have questions, you can definitely comment and we will answer your questions. Don't be shy, don't be afraid. This is a free space, no judgment. That you can ask any questions you may have about the topic we're talking about, or home ownership, or getting a mortgage. We'll be happy to answer your questions. So,
Definitely. Good evening, everybody.
Dana, how was your week?
My week is going pretty well. It's almost over. Well, actually, it's not almost over. The weekend is like when everything gets a little bit busy. But this week, my baby girl, who turns 8 months this Saturday, like
Oh,
she's really rolling around a lot, and she's
okay.
not crawling. Yeah, she's doing the little where she pushes backwards, so she's like sliding the floor. So I put like a duster underneath her belly, so she's cleaning the floor as she's going along the house. So
Really, Dana?
yeah, I mean, gotta gotta be creative.
I
These
don't
kids
know
at
if your
work.
wife can approve of you doing that, but okay.
Hey, she's not complaining when the floor is swept.
True, 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 true. That's for her
Exactly.
to do, right?
Exactly.
All right, that's cool. That's cool. So my week, it's not almost over. As a real estate agent, we work every day.
Every day. Every
Every
day.
day and on holidays. But you know
Hmm.
what? It's what I signed up for, right?
That is true. And I don't know if it's really work when you love what you do. I mean, you're great at it. You have a great
Yeah.
personality, so I'm pretty sure it's just pretty much easy for you.
Yeah, it is somewhat.
Helps with the vacations, right?
It does. It does. It does. Oh, but you
Exactly.
know what? I have a really exciting project coming up at my house. I bought this huge gazebo, huge, okay? And I cannot wait to install it because it's going to be like
Hmm.
my Mother's Day function at my house for my mom and my sister. So we're going to send
Oh,
the kids. So that gazebo will be up. It's going to be so nice. I'm excited for that.
congratulations. When are you installing it?
So I'm going to do it next week, actually. Next week. Big project at my
Oh,
house.
gotcha, gotcha. That's gonna be nice. Hopefully it stays up when you guys are underneath it.
Yes, yes. No problem. No problem. Well, it's my family, so they can't sue me if anything happens, right?
Ah, money talks. Money talks.
I got a lot of equity in my house, so listen,
Exactly. Equity in house. See, that's good. That's something we'll talk about as well.
that's what we're talking about, right, Dana? The numbers, the
The
numbers, the numbers,
numbers.
the numbers. So let's get into it. I mentioned equity, and there we go. Let's get into it. What's going on with with these interest rates? These are the numbers. The interest rates. We're talking about, planning and preparing for home ownership in this series, and we want you to understand the importance of becoming a homeowner now versus continue to wait. We're going to
Hmm.
go through then the numbers then a couple of years ago versus what's happening right now, talking about equity, interest rate, home prices, and those types of things. So Dana, let's get
Yeah.
into it.
All right. So we're gonna talk about then and now. So I have a
Hmm.
good example of someone that I'm pretty close with.
Okay.
Bought their home back in let me know if you could see this 2015. Never
Yep.
mind the handwriting, okay? Because I was going to be a doctor at one time.
Yeah.
So
No kidding.
2000, 2000, they bought their home 2015, and that home was for $299,000 back in
Hmm.
2015. Now, when they bought that home, they got it
Hmm.
at an interest rate at 3.875%. So what we're
Okay.
going to talk about is can you see it?
I see. I can. I mean, I see it. I hope our audience can see it too.
Hopefully they could see it too. But if they can't listen up, and I can review it with them
Right.
over the phone in Zoom or in person. Now we're
Right.
just going to talk about principal and interest as well. This is not going to be is not going to be with property taxes, homeowners insurance, and like HOAs and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So their principal and interest was 1375. So this is back in 2015. Now,
Okay.
the reason I want to go over this is the importance
Hmm.
of the interest rate. Now, also they had put down 3.5%. Okay, so it's not 1375 over the 299. It's off the 3.5% down payment.
Okay.
So now interest rates last year were like historically low. Now they're still low right now,
Mhm.
but last year they were just historically low. So let's just say they had you got this house last year and the rate was about 2.875%.
Mhm.
Okay. So now the same 299 house put down the
Right.
same 3.5%, but now you're at 2.875% as opposed to the 3.875%. That principal and interest is 12. I had to write it down. 1213 per month.
Okay.
Now when you look at that, that's about what is it? About 100 and oh boy, like $160 difference
Mhm.
around there, right?
Mhm.
What you might think is like, what's the big deal? It's nothing crazy. But the difference between this interest rate is drastically greater than you would actually think. So
Mhm.
what it actually does for you now is that if you were to get the same price from 1213 to 1375 at the 2.875% rate, you would actually be able to buy more house.
Oh,
So that
I see.
299 so that 299 house would actually be about 338,000 dollars, all because you decided to work a little bit quicker and get the
Mhm.
house at a lower interest rate. So
Wow.
even though you see it's only $160 per month difference, what it was able to do for you is to buy you a house that's more money of about $39,000. Now,
Wow.
obviously, when you add it to a more expensive house, you'll have a bigger gap in that. So
Right.
interest rate does play a big part because not only could you just possibly save money per month, but what it could
Mhm.
do for you is to buy more of a house. Maybe you'll get that extra bathroom. Maybe you'll get
Right.
that extra room. You'll get that bigger garage, or maybe that finished basement. Okay.
Or that office. Or that office.
Or that back office. That's something I'm working on as well. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, originally we said that this house was bought in 2000 and 2015.
15.
Now,
Yes.
this person last year, 2020, was able to take about 30 to $33,000 in equity and
Mhm.
use that to pay off some of their bills. But
Wow.
now, today, that same house is worth over $455,000. So
Wow.
that's about 100. Yes. So over what, 6 years? That's about
Mhm.
$161,000 increase in the home. So that's why, excuse me. Now we probably won't get a big jump like that all the time.
Right.
We had it in pandemic, but it's still growth. That's what just like investing in the market, in the
Mhm.
stock market, and you could put the money in there. And that one year you had a nice big jump, and that's
Right.
what's happening to homeowners who bought pre 2020, who bought
Right.
in 2019 before 2018. For the individuals who said, you know what, let me buckle down and save money, right?
Right.
Put that towards my down payment, my closing costs, and get myself a house. And you and I
Right.
have this conversation all the time. Is like, you don't have to buy that glorious house,
Almost
that is
definitely.
like exactly. It's like, oh my God, I need this house right there with the 5 bedrooms, because no, like you could work your way up to it. And like all houses increased in value
Mhm.
no matter where it was. So just imagine if you had a home, for example, like I had someone I'm working with on a refi. He had bought a
Mhm.
house in Shirley 3 years ago.
Right.
It was about two, and then now that house more than doubled.
Yeah. I had a
And now
customer bought in the pandemic last year a house in
Mhm.
Shirley and already has like $30,000 equity in his house.
Yeah, like that,
Mhm.
like that's what happens. Like, a lot of people's like, oh, well, it was a pandemic, it was a chance. Like it happens. Like,
Right.
people always talk about, I missed, cryptocurrency, or I missed the stock market, I missed that. Like this is an opportunity, and the opportunity is still there. So I don't want
Yes,
to say like it's doom and gloom. It's not. The opportunity is very much
of
still
course.
there for anybody.
Rates are
And
still low.
excuse me.
Rates are still low.
Rates are still very low, and that's why you do have to take advantage of what is going on right now. It's an awesome opportunity to
Mhm.
become a homeowner. Like it
Yeah.
really is a great opportunity, whether it be in New York or anywhere else. Like it's a great opportunity to not only look into home ownership, but get the information that you need to become a homeowner on like, especially with the pre-approval process. Like, don't be afraid. Like a lot of
Hmm.
people I come across is just like it is fear that is holding them back. Do
Right.
not be afraid. Like the very first thing you said was, if there's any questions, ask any
Right.
questions that you have, and that's what you gotta, that's what you gotta do. Like it's a big investment. It's
Put it in
definitely
the
can be a
comments.
big
If
investment for
anybody's
you.
watching and they have questions, put in the comments will help. We'll answer those questions for you. I think too, Dana, people are apprehensive because like it's a big investment, right? Buying a
Hmm.
house is huge. It's not like buying a car also. And then it's something that may make you uncomfortable because people sometimes don't like to be uncomfortable. Why? Because now you have to manage your money better if you're not managing it well, or now there's a bigger financial responsibility on you because now you have a home. But you think about it, right? Renting, it's the same responsibility. I still have to pay my rent. And most of the times now, you're paying all the utilities except for water, which
Hmm.
you pay all the utilities at your house, but you'll pay the water. But you get nothing in return for that, right? You get nothing on your tax return for renting a house. You don't build out equity. You can't leave it to your family. You can't pass it down to anyone, right? But I think the biggest hurdle for people is not necessarily always buying, it's coming up with the money to buy. You know,
Hmm.
closing costs and down payment. They need to have those funds. And in this series, we talk a lot about planning and preparing for home ownership. No one's going to get up and go tomorrow and buy a house without planning and preparing because you're going to need to
Exactly.
figure out your savings, where the money's coming from your closing costs. And there are a lot of creative ways to do that. Your 401k, gifts from family, you save a little
Hmm.
bit of money, any sort of programs there are available, it's there. But in the process of doing this, instead of just thinking, you know what, that's such a big task, a big goal, I just can't take that on right now. I can't become a homeowner because it's just too much. It's
Hmm.
not too much. It's not planning and preparing yourself. So another hurdle people may have is their credit scores. If your credit score is low, that can be changed. Over time, work on it, fix it, and get it done so that you don't miss an opportunity to continue to get this low rate. And I feel the rates will stay a little low for a little while. So you still have an opportunity to do that. But then think about all the money that's being left on the table. You are leaving money on the table, right?
Hmm.
There's so much
Exactly.
things that can be built.
Exactly. And like, I know you'll touch on this, is like everyone's like, oh well, the cost of housing is going up, which is, it is true.
Oh,
But if you
yeah.
have to think about that, like, if the cost of housing is going up, what else is most likely going to go up as well? The cost of renting.
Yes.
The
Yes.
cost of renting is just it's just going to go. Is like, if I have to pay more for a house and someone's renting for me, like, they're going to pay more as well. So it is lateral. It's gonna go
Yeah.
together. It's parallel. So like, you
Right.
have to think about that as well. Like, you might be in a lease
Mhm.
agreement right now, but what happens when that lease agreement ends? Are they going to honor and say, you know what, you've been a great tenant, even though everything else has increased, I'm going to keep you exactly the same you are because I like
Right.
you? I
Right.
don't know. I don't know about that. So it just
Business.
yeah, it's a business, and
Not
like, you
personal.
hear it on the news right now, like, the increase of rent. Like, if you like, for anyone who's listening, if you just go on Facebook on a marketplace and where you see
Mhm.
people posting houses, like, if you go scroll through there, like, I see people putting up monthly, what it costs per month, and I'm thinking it's ownership and it's renting.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy
Yeah.
crap, you're showing this, and it's like it's renting, and it's not even the whole house.
Right. One floor.
Yeah, if that.
One floor.
A step, a
One floor.
chair, and a window. Like, that's what you're getting in this house. Like, it's crazy. So like, it's something that you really have to think about. So if you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, the cost of housing is going up, rent is gonna
Yeah,
follow that.
definitely, definitely. It works hand in hand, right? It's housing.
Hmm.
Housing expenses goes up, utilities go up. So don't look at it like, you know what, house prices are going up, but the rent is also going up as well. So if you're gonna pay more rent, you can figure out a way that rent could be you paying your mortgage, right? And we're talking
Exactly.
about, interest rate. And I'll share my own personal story. When I bought my house in 2013, I paid 308, sorry, 305 for it. And my interest rate was 3.5, right? So my payments then was $1,321.65. That was 2013, 8 years ago. Today, in the pandemic, when the rates dropped, which all of the homeowners are doing, what are they doing? Refinancing to get that lower rate, right? And you'd say, you
Hmm.
know what? Back then, when I told people my rate was 3.5, they was like, oh, you have a good rate. I'm like, yeah. But I was like, wait, if they're low, guess what? I could get an even better rate. So
Yes.
over time, that 8 years, my principal balance went down, right? So now my mortgage or my loan amount is at 250. So now I have a rate at 270. My payment
Mm.
is now $1,013.99 because one, I paid down on my mortgage. Two, the
Hmm.
rate is lower, so I'm saving money. And guess what? Guess what? The most amazing part of this is the equity in my house.
Yes.
2013, I paid 305. 2021, my house is worth 545.
Oh, that's a
Okay.
big, see, that is a big jump. So not only now are you saving, what was it, $300 a month?
Yes.
And then your home drastically increase. So
Yes.
like, I mean, we could possibly do the math. I'm not going to do it now, but like, like you could say that what you paid,
Hmm.
you necessarily got back. So you almost could have said your housing was borderline for free.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Almost there. Right. Over time, because the value in my house goes up. And that money, that equity, I would not be able to have that equity in 8 years doing anything else. Like I'm not people dabble in the stock market. I'm not a stock market person. I'm not an expert in the stock market. You know, my son does it on his phone. Everybody's into it now, right? But in order to make $250,000 in the stock market, I couldn't do that, right? I maybe have to hire a broker. I'd lose money, gain money because it goes up and down. So we all know the stock market was crashing the other day. People were losing money, right? But I gained money since then. And the stock market couldn't give me that 250. You know, anything else that I can think about couldn't give me that 250 other than just coming home every day to my house, paying a mortgage, and having equity built into my house over time. So
Mhm.
when we talk about the importance of buying a home, it's not just because you have to buy a home, you have to live somewhere, but it's because what it can do for you. Now I could take that money, buy another house, invest, rent it out. Now I get passive income from that. I could take that, put my kids to college, go on vacation, whatever it is, my gazebo, another patio, whatever it
Exactly.
may be, you know. But the opportunity is there for us all to do the same thing. And when I bought my house, I had no money. I still don't have money. I'm not rich, right? And
Yeah.
by any means. But at the end of the day, I wanted to buy a house, and it's something that I really wanted to do, and I made it happen with very little. Right? I had that
Mhm.
3.5 down. I took money out of my 401k. You know, I had gifts from family, and that's how I did it. It's not impossible. You just have to know you want to do it, create that plan, stick with the plan, have great people like you
Make it
and I
work.
give you the information. You know what I mean, and guide you through the process because it's not impossible.
No, I mean that makes a lot of sense. It's like if you make a decision to do something and put your mind to it, like you could make it work. So like I know when we first got our home, it was a little nerving. It was like
Hmm.
I don't know how we're gonna do this, but we're still here. And
Yeah.
like I look back like I don't even know how we did it, but you do it. You make it happen because you just have to make that decision that
Hmm.
you're going to make it happen. You go out and find the information and what's going to be the best. You know, it's going to be the best for you. So and I think it's great, like what you're talking about, like the equity in your home. Um, you could use it to invest and get
Hmm.
like a second property. And like
Right.
that's what is the power of real estate like right
Hmm.
now, especially right now, during these times, is that you can go ahead and buy another property, and then if you want, you can just rent it out to someone else,
Right.
and so you have your investment now that's gonna, like you said, it's going to do passive income. So there's just
Hmm.
a lot
Hmm.
of flexibility in what you could do with it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This is why we're here trying to get people, educate them on the process. You know, it's a big process.
Definitely.
It's a lot to learn, and if you have people, the right people wanting to help you get there, you know, take the opportunity. And it may not be this year you buy a house. It may be next
Hmm.
year, but at least you're accomplishing that goal because don't let it pass you by, right?
Yeah.
Why let it pass you by? It could be next year that you do it, and that's fine too, but just if you want to and you think you can, you should start looking into it. Start that planning, that preparation step. Most important.
Exactly. It's very, very, very important.
Definitely, definitely, Dana. So I don't see any questions in the comment section. Oh wait, sorry, I lied. Wait. Okay. These two young ladies here, they didn't have questions. They were just making comments.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you for the support, ladies. Olet and Tara.
Yeah.
So, again, anything else, Dana, you want to share before we wrap it up?
No, I think that was a really quick 20 minutes. I felt like it was 5. But I think we went through a lot, and just to go over, the numbers. I think, some people do need to see that, because it does, it makes sense once you make that decision to
Right.
go forward. Like, it's going to happen, and it's going to work for you if you decide to make that decision. Like, there's no doubt about it. It's going to work.
Definitely. So, guys, if you have any questions in regards to getting pre-approved, to talking about a mortgage, any concerns about interest rate, please reach out to Dana. He is your guy to help you and guide you through. Any questions about real estate, purchasing, selling, anything like that, I'm here, your girl, Marsha.
Gazebos.
Gazebos. Yes. I'm going to document my gazebo.
Make sure you edit all the bad parts out so it seems like it's a perfect install.
Well, thank God it's not me installing it. So I think if it was me installing it, one, it would probably take till the end of the year to get put up.
Okay.
And 2, somebody would definitely be getting hurt.
Yeah. That's perfect.
So, no gazebo installing for me. I'm just going to be watching and then enjoying it.
All right. And then telling them if they want to buy a house, they go through you.
They go through me. Definitely. Stay connected, guys. Take care, and thank you for tuning in, and join us next time. Bye-bye.